Alright, good one. What up, gang? It's Mang, back on Arena. I'm doing another standard video today featuring a green-white Hulk Cage match deck. So we're playing Bright Glass Gearhulk, Collector's Cage, Elspeth, Craterhoof, and many more big baddie creatures on our way to victory. I've play tested about 10 matches, went 9-1. So this is one that made the cut. I want to share it with you guys. Let's get into the deck tech. Alright, coming up first in the 1-drop spot, this is important because Bright Glass Gearhulk, if you haven't seen this card, this is a 4/4 first striking trampling artifact creature. When it enters, you may search your library for up to 2 artifact creature and or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less. Reveal them, put them in your hand. So this hits the battlefield. It's a brick wall for aggro decks, and we get 2 cards out of it. So we have to load the deck up with relevant 1-drops. So we have 1 copy of Duskrose Reliquary. You have to sacrifice an artifact or creature when you play it, and then you O-ring, exile target artifact or creature. This hits Cori-Steel Cutter. This hits relevant, big creatures on the opponent's side of the field. And it's got ward 2, so we got a little bit of protection there too. 1 copy of Nurturing Pixie. We can pick up one of our collector's cages after the use. You get some counters there. We can pick up a Bright Glass Gearhulk if we need the ETB again. One of our token makers. This is a very versatile card in this deck, and we're running 1 copy of it. We have 1 copy of Haywire Might. This might be the best blocker in Standard right now. You're able to declare blocks and then sacrifice the creature for 1 green source to exile target non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. So this gets rid of Cori-Steel Cutter. This gets rid of Storm Chaser's talent. Gets rid of the Overlords. You prevent lifelink damage too from the opponent. Haywire Might is one of the most important cards in the deck. And then 4 copies of Landwar Elves. Wouldn't be green without a playset of Landwar Elves. You need them to ramp into our relevant 3-drops. A lot of good ones in the deck. We got 3 copies of Paw Patch Recruit, one of our targets for the Bright Glass Gearhulk. This card is great. You're able to offspring it for 3 mana as well. So you can go Landwar Elves into offspring Paw Patch Recruit if you want. It's a 2/1 trampler that makes a 1/1 offspring rabbit, also a trample, but the ability text on the card is incredible. We're able to place a 1/1 counter on a creature that we control. Paw Patch Recruit, we're running 3 of them here. I might even want to run 4 in the future, but we'll see how it does in this video. Now let's get into the good stuff. 4 copies of Collector's Cage. This is the whole reason the Selesnya archetype even works. 2 mana artifact from Outlaws of Thunder Junction bonus sheet. You hide away 5. So what that means is you look at the top 5 cards of your library, you can exile one of those underneath the Collector's Cage, and then when you have 3 creatures on the battlefield and you pay 1 to tap this to put a counter on one of your 3 creatures, as long as they have 3 different varying power levels, you get the trigger to then cheat in one of your biggest spells in the deck. This is how we're going to be able to cheat out Elspeth, a Bright Glass Gearhulk, or even a Craterhoof for potentially on turn 3 or 4, we can even get a Craterhoof in play if it's tucked underneath the Collector's Cage. This is the reason this deck is so explosive. 3 copies of Sheltered by Ghosts in the main board here. This is great against those aggro decks, the red decks. We've got to catch up in the match so we can actually, exile the Cori-Steel Cutter. We can exile the biggest creature in our way, no matter the power. It's just a hit all removal, as long as we can keep our creature alive and we get some lifelink attached to it. No surprise here, we're playing white. Sheltered by Ghosts is in the deck. 3 copies of the Raccoon, Keen-Eyed Curator. For 2 green, you get a 3/3. And as long as you have 4 or more card types exiled underneath this creature, it gets +4/+4 in trample. This is actually very doable in this deck. We can actually exile the Haywire Might, for example, from our own graveyard to get 2 out of the 4 card types. You can exile some stuff from your opponent's graveyard. Very good against the Oculus deck or any recursion combo deck. Omniscience deck. Keen-Eyed Curator is a flexible green card and just great stats. For 2 mana you get a 3/3. We want to get as many bodies on the battlefield as possible, so the cards in the 3-drop slot here help us do that. We have Sanguine Evangelist. Enters, makes a bat. When the Evangelist dies, you actually get another bat. And you get that nice battle cry trigger when you attack too. So your entire board gets +1/0 until end of turn, and really helps you push damage. Along the same lines of getting bodies on the field, we have Sandstorm Salvager, 3 copies here, where you get a 1/1 and a 3/3 artifact golem. The additional text on Salvager is very good too. We can actually pump all of our tokens that we make throughout the match with a +1/+1 counter, and give them trample until end of turn. In those long grindy matches, this is actually a very useful ability, being able to grow our bats or the soldiers we make off of Stormslayer, the Paw Patch recruit tokens. There's just a lot of targets for this. 3 copies of Sentinel Nameless City in the deck here. This is just a great body. 3 mana, 3/4. Enters, gives you the map token, helps you find land drops. You actually get 2 map tokens if we have Elspeth in play. Yeah, this is just like a quality big body creature you want to stop those aggro decks. Alright, let's take a second here and talk about Elspeth Stormslayer. This is going to be taking the place of Overlord of the Mistmoors in this deck, just because it provides way more flexibility, and honestly it's power creep at its finest here. You get a 5 mana Planeswalker. If 1 or more tokens will be created under your control, you make twice that many tokens instead. So we're going to be getting double Offspring tokens, we'll be getting double Salvager tokens, Evangelist tokens, map tokens. It really doesn't matter. Elspeth is going to help us flood the board. She's very easy to protect for that reason. We'll have so many chump blockers in the way for when our opponent wants to remove Elspeth that when she hits the board, as long as she's not countered, she's pretty sticky. She's hard to get rid of. The 0 ability on Elspeth is really what pushes this deck to the top though. You put a 1/1 counter on each of your creatures that you control, and they gain flying until your next turn. So not only do they get to swing in, but if they have vigilance, like the Sentinel Nameless City, they maintain flying on the defensive side too. So your opponent's flyers can't get in, remove Elspeth, or deal damage to you. The 0 ability is the most important one here, and the reason why we're running 3 of them here in the main board. And then for -3, just for a little icing on the cake, it's removal for mana value 3 or greater creatures. And we got 1 copy of Craterhoof. Craterhoof is legal in Standard. It's been a long time coming. We are going to take advantage, and we're probably not going to pay the 8 mana ever. This is the card we definitely want to hit on Collector's Cage, but we don't want to get stuck with too many in hand, so we're only going to run the 1 in the main board here. This usually comes out against the aggro decks in post sideboard. Seeing this in your hand is not the best thing in Standard. Let's take a look at the mana base now. We are running all of the fast lands, so 16 lands here, Verge, the Thicket, Brushland. You need all of them here. But we also get the luxury of running 3 copies of Restless Prairie. So this is one of those animate lands where it turns into a creature till end of turn, but it also is a pseudo board pump, because whenever this attacks, other creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. As long as we're not getting board wiped, this deck has the potential to overrun your opponent, push for lethal. You'll be wider than the number of blockers that they have, and close out games really quickly too. So Restless Prairie definitely is a threat at the land spot here. Alright, that's going to do it for the main board here. I'm going to put the deck list in the description. Make sure you check it out. Hit like and subscribe on the video now. I'm doing a June 4th streamer early access event for Final Fantasy, and I'm giving away more cards, more precons at 2,000 subscribers. So I appreciate all the love on the videos so far. You guys seem to be enjoying these ones. Alright, let's take a second now and talk about this sideboard. The sideboard's pretty straightforward. 2 copies of Get Lost. So if the Sheltered by Ghosts are not optimal against decks with a lot of removal, where we kind of lose the value of removing something on their side, Get Lost will take its place. 3 copies of Aven Interrupter. This is going to be our protection for board wipes, sweepers, more of those control-y decks that want to draw a bunch of cards. Aven Interrupter is a fine sideboard option. So when our opponent's tapping out for large aggressive spells, maybe Jeskai Revelation for example, this is something we're going to want to hold up as our counter just to buy us a turn, because 1 sweeper, 1 Revelation can really mess up our game plan. So we want to have 3 of these in the sideboard here. Similar matchups here against control. Enduring Innocence, we have 1 copy of this in the deck. This is just to fill our hand, get more cards, keep the pressure on. It also has lifelink, which is nice. So those pixie decks, the ones that have a lot of hand hate and are making us discard cards, Enduring Innocence is going to help us refill and keep playing stuff. And then 1 copy of Elish Norn. This is usually the one I side in against Esper Pixie, matchups with a lot of good ETBs. This is more effective than Craterhoof depending on the matchup, especially Pixie. So I have 1 copy here. That's usually a quick and easy swap if we're ever facing that deck. We have a copy of Ghost Vacuum. This is more help against Oculus, along with the Keen Eye Curator and 1 Ghost Vacuum. we should be good to go against that matchup. I'm not too worried about combo decks with this one. And it feels good to have 2 copies of High Noon here. I think white is positioned really well against Izzet Prowess and the Cori Cutters. Your opponent can't double spell. We're playing 1 big spell per turn anyway, so we might as well neuter their options on the other end, and High Noon helps us do just that. 1 more copy of Sheltered by Ghosts. If we need the life gain, if we're fighting red, we might as well play another one. You know, exile the Screaming Nemesis, the Shale Dread. Against big threats that are going to ruin the game for us, we might want another copy, so we have 1 more on the sideboard. And 1 copy is Split Up. This is good against other decks that are trying to go wide, are aggressive and tap in their creatures sideways with haste. We're going to want Split Up in here as well. Perhaps the best option to defeat Cori Cutter is the Scrap Shooter. We have 3 copies of it in the sideboard here, because we're able to gift a card on this 4/4 reach creature. When it enters, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. So we can destroy up the Beanstalks, we can destroy Cori Cutters, and we're getting pressure on the board with a quality reach blocker. If you didn't see my Dragon D's deck, my Gruul Dragons deck, I'm running 3 copies of Scrap Shooter in the main for that exact reason. So it doesn't help us go wide, but against those Cori decks that are trying to go fast at us, I love having Scrap Shooter as an option here in the sideboard. Okay, I think I covered it all. I think we're good. I'm going to get into the gameplay. I'm going to play 3 best of 3 matches. Let me know what you think of this deck, what you think about the numbers here. I want to see your guys' comments, and if you have any suggestions to perfect this deck list. Like I said, I'm going to share it with you all. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in game 1. Okay, match number 1 on the play. Not the best opener. We kind of hate to see Craterhoof, but I'm not going to throw it back. We got playables. We'll lead off with Haywire Might in case we can offspring both of these. Oh, Dimir, okay. Yeah, Dimir aggro could be tough. Let's just get stuff on the field. Okay, nice. So we got the cage combo here. Do I want the land, honestly? I think I do, because I get this Gearhulk. That's crazy. But it's definitely right. Oh, wait. You may play it. What? Ooh, don't do that, guys. I guess that doesn't work. Whoops. Control 3 more. You may play the exiled card without paying. So I guess playing does not count land? Huh. I'm going to leave that in for scientific reasons, but don't do that. Don't put lands underneath. Yeah, cut down on top, yeah. Okay. Oh, I can play the land. I just had already done one for turn. Oh. The more you know. Yeah, so he's got the cut down, but we'll get counters if he does play that. Okay. I'm just gonna go Gearhulk. want the Pixie and I want another Paw Patch. Okay, doing this now. Okay, we'll say go. So if he removes our Gearhulk, wouldn't be great, but I'm sure he's got removal. Yeah. That's so good for us. Go for the throat, does not hit the Gearhulk. Yeah, we're chilling. Can't really stop that. I don't want to offspring this because I really want to do this. Second Gearhulk. Exile target enchantment. Yeah, I'm in for that. Oh, non-creature enchantment. Let's go get the Enduring. Swing for 5. So you could have Kaido. Yeah, we're pretty far ahead there. So in this matchup, Sheltered is a little worse. So I don't want as many. I'm going to go some Get Losts. I don't think Split Up's bad. Yeah, I'll probably run it like this. The hand is okay, but I need 2 lands to even try it. Alright, now we gotta get pretty lucky. So this dies to go for the throat. But I mean, we gotta do something. We're gonna get to Elspeth, ideally. I'll swing. I expect this to die. No, maybe not. Dimir aggro doesn't really run counter spells all that much. Wow, what a top deck. I guess we'll see what we get off the cage first. Another cage. Yes, I don't think I need to loop cages. Let's get Shelly out of here. Glad we kept one copy in. I mean, Get Lost would have been just as good, but pretty huge top deck. Yeah, GG. And we had 2 Elspeths in hand still. Alright, so that was smooth sailing. Okay, match number 2 on the draw with a pretty good hand. Never going to throw back turn 1 elves. None of our big beaters, but if we can draw one of them, like that. It's probably Torch the Tower. Or Burst Lightning. Yeah. Makes sense. Didn't play a creature. Could assume he had something removal-wise. Manifold Mouse, okay. Sentinel's pretty good in this matchup. The 4 toughness is super relevant. Okay. Just go Sentinel and pass. And then next turn we can either shelter on the Heartfire hero or just play the Gearhulk if we're not under too much pressure. Yeah, we'll just pass. I don't want to lose the Sentinel. This smells like Monstrous Strike. I guess I'm just going to do it like this and make him do it. Yeah, that's fine. We just went from taking 6 damage to gaining life on that turn. He didn't buff that either. Seems like a misplay. I'm not going to get greedy. Just get the Heartfire hero out of here. Play our cage and get going. Shelter's probably good. If he had Monstrous Rage now, I don't think that's a bad thing if we want him to use it defensively. We would still kill the mouse too. I think that's what he has. No, maybe not. I don't even need to risk blocking. We're already gaining life. I guess we should swing. This way we can present Collector's Cage if he does Monstrous Rage here. Yeah, we can just buff. Use some of our tokens. Draw some lands. Yeah. Six lifelinker. Yeah, I don't think the opponent realized that. Want the second sheltered. Split up wouldn't hurt. We could probably trim on Curator. Okay. On the draw. Elves on 1. Let's go. This is where it gets burst lightninged. Yeah. Alright, we don't have a turn 2 play, but he didn't do anything either. Makes me think he has another burst or maybe Monstrous Rage in hand. Ooh, he missed a land. That's bad. I'm just gonna get bodies out there. Yeah, Torch is good. Exiles the Evangelist, so we don't get the bat. And yeah, GG. That'll happen when you miss lands. It's something. We'll try it. We'll go, I guess, elves into elves. Hopefully draw something bigger. Oh, he had a mulligan to 5. Yeah. Makes sense. How about another? Alright, we just need to draw a bigger spell. Ooh, Teamer. Alright, we have no dorks. We'll go Cage with no creatures. Does Spell Pierce? Oh, okay. Made me nervous. I mean, we're going to lose if we don't draw a creature. I believe we have like 25 in the deck, though. We'll take a Paw Patch Recruit, Salvager. I guess Gearhulk or Elspeth would be best possible. Oh, Gearhulk now. There's Elspeth. This might be like Tolarian Terror, Eddie Merc Crab, some sort of like graveyard brew. See a lot of instants and sorceries. It might be right just to destroy this. No. With 2 shelters in hand, I'm going to develop on the board here. I don't necessarily have to block either. I suppose if he goes Eddie Merc Crab, taps these both down and hits, we're still okay. Just Elspeth is a house, man. Comes in with like 6 loyalty when you +1 it. That's a lot. Yeah, I'm happy jumping. It's pretty good. He is getting another one. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is gross. So we can go bang, 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 Cage, Gearhulk, Pixie, and this, sure. Pick up Cage, swing. Cards, there they are. That's what's up. Yeah, so the curators are pretty good. I guess a ghost vacuum wouldn't hurt. I don't know, I'm pretty content with all this. We try it like this. No elves. I'm gonna keep it though. Like we have a 2-drop, 3-drop. Oh, nice. Does he really want to torch the tower this? Probably does, just to get a spell in the graveyard. Yeah, sure. There's the beanstalk. Okay. Yeah. So that's going to be a problem. Kind of wish I had scrap shooter. So we need any land desperately. Plays analyze for island. There's our land. It's pretty good for us. Could be a bounce spell on the token. Bouncing the beanstalk, wow. Yeah. I mean, makes sense. Tap land. Ooh, he didn't play anything. Counterspell? Opt. That's weird though. Why would he not replay the beanstalk if he's not going to bounce this or kill it? Ah. That's not bad though. Yeah, he's going to spend this turn redeveloping. We actually have the cage combo. Even if we miss land drop, we have it. Yeah, he's got a lot of spells in the graveyard already. Yeah, we're gonna go for it. If we swing out, we lose one. Don't think I care. Missing land was bad because he can do a pretty big turn here. And this taps for 3 now. Wow. Alright, so he's got a counter spell, mana value 2 or less. Okay. Red or green spell 6 or less. Okay. If we play the Sentinel, he counters it. I guess we go for sheltered. Oh, duh. You can just counter that. Okay, that was kind of dumb. I guess I should have just let him counter the Sentinel. I was hung up on the green spell, 6 or less part. Yeah, that Karsh is good. We really have no answer for Beanstalk, so he's just going to have more cards than us. Hopefully we can draw with him. Stay wide, get him in the air. Seven mana. Oh, he's going for it. Yeah, I definitely want these to be scrap shooters. Guess we play this boy. One blue, this has to be the bounce attacking creature, right? Alright, we're not out of it. We would love to hit one more land. I assume he's going to draw some cards off Beanstalk. He's got to play another spell. Or he meant to play something else? Yeah. It's pretty good. Take 8. Take 12. Yikes. He can buy back. This town ain't big enough, probably. Yeah. And we missed land. So, like, we could go Gearhulk. But we need bodies on the field here. I guess I'd rather have the no. Yeah, we just needed one more land. And that game was winnable. We're probably toast here. Oh yeah, he can just straight up hit both these. Yeah. Gross. Alright, you got it. Okay, so we want scrap shooters. I realize that now. Probably one less curator. I guess Get Lost wouldn't be bad. I don't know why I thought Ghost Vacuum was good. I don't know if this is a hoof matchup. With all the interaction, I just don't think we're going to have a lot on the board. Especially with Pyroclasms too, so I think hoof's kind of bad. I always find myself taking hoof out, but, you know. Alright, that's better. I'm glad we mulliganed that. I'm gonna... Land's the greedy play, but it probably should be Pixie. I wish you were here a turn earlier. Yeah, Pollen for red, Torch a Tower. Yep. I'm just gonna play it. I want something to stick Sheltered by Ghost too. Yeah, that seems okay. So it's got Ward 2. This is a Cori Cutter deck? This did not feel like a Cori Cutter deck. Okay. Oh, I got an Elspeth. Now, if he spends his whole turn dealing with the Storm Slayer, I might just let her die. Now that we have Collector's Cage. Oh, he's got way more mana than I think. He's got 5 mana, technically, right? Because he can filter for 3. Filter for 2 more. So that's 5. Yeah, Elspeth probably dies here. So we need to hit something good off the cage. Hoping he taps out. Wow. Tarnation Vista. Yeah, 5 mana. What you got? That was pretty smart. Bouncing a token. He doesn't have blue now, though. So you can't replay that. Yeah. Alright, so she's dead no matter what, right? Block here, 7. Yeah. Okay. Oh man, we're 1 off. We are 1 off. Probably chumps. Yeah, because if we can resolve this, then we win. It's a good game. Alright, let's see what you got. I just realized the Vista's so good with these red-blue otters. Not that he didn't already have it, but 7 mana. Yeah. He does have a this town in the graveyard. I mean, if he found like Pyroclasm, that would be horrific for us. We're at 33 life, so we don't need to trade anywhere. He might find it though. It's got to be in those 2 cards. Yeah. I think we're okay. Yeah, GG. Yeah, I'll just take all this. Let's get the Cori-Cutter just because. Alright, good one. Yeah, he was a Pyroclasm away from ending our game. Good stuff. Diamond tier 2, halfway to Mythic. We are like top 1,000 in Limited already. So it'd be sweet to hit the double Mythic achievement. We still have 9 days to do it, but I am out of town this weekend. It's gonna be close. Anyway, we'll take our 3 wins. We'll call it a video there. Let's take one more look at the deck. I'll post the Moxfield link in the description. Try it out for yourselves. I think it's pretty flexible against Cori-Cutter. You know, Gearhulk, this card is amazing. Basically draw 2 relevant cards. And then Elspeth pushes the damage in over the top. And we didn't get to do it, but Craterhoof is in the deck. It's back in Standard. Let me know if you guys think this is the right fit for it. I don't think it could hurt. We could run a 4th Elspeth, or you know, even Overlord of the Mistmoors and feel pretty okay. But these are pretty good win conditions here. Elspeth being the kicker here. That 0 ability's nuts with any sort of board. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Be on the lookout for Final Fantasy Draft Guide and my June 4th, Wednesday night. I'll be live streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Links to that will be in the description. Make sure you follow me there if you are hanging with me on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Trying to get going on Twitch, but that's all I got for you. You guys have a good rest of your night, and good luck with Cori-Cutter. Peace.